This is officially on the block. Sir Dragon, he's having like some family issues, stuff that's come up, so he's not been around to like do this. But I told him I'd get him caught up on the episodes, and so we're gonna go over the first 3 rounds of nominations. Let me turn on screen share real quick. I can figure out how to. Oh, here we go.
Hey, you got there. No.
Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's recording like the app I'm using is set up, so that'll be good. I'll have to edit this honestly afterwards too, because this is such a weird show. But first off, I want to say like, how was the game for you?
Stressful.
Did you have like less time than the other players because of the time zone difference?
Well, yeah. I could only really speak to people for about an hour or two a day, which like really affected it, I think.
So you think that really hindered your chances?
Yeah. Well, kind of. I mean, I also played like shit. That doesn't help.
What do you mean you played like shit?
Well, I just trusted the wrong people, I guess.
Okay. Was there anyone that was like unwilling to work with you?
Well, I thought Kenny, but he constantly denies it. But I mean, just look at what happened. Every time I spoke to him, it was just like, well, you're going up, so.
How did you end up getting 10 nomination points while the other 2 got 8?
I honestly don't know. I got told by about 10 people that they were doing Doodle and Peter. And most of the people who did me, I think, were in that 10, so.
All right. How would you rate your gameplay this season on a scale of 1 to 10?
0? No. I mean, I actually tried to get stuff done, but everyone just leaks everything. Mm-hmm. You say anything to anyone, and it just goes around the whole house.
Okay. Do you think this was more intense of a season compared to your first time playing?
Not really. I mean, last time I played, there was like 100 sets a day, and now it's just like the first person who makes a set, they're the one who goes up.
Okay. So do you think it's more of like, does it feel more like an all-star season or more like a rookie season that's kind of boring?
Well, everyone in the house is saying it's very boring and no one's playing like an all-star, but I mean, they kind of are. Like, they're playing smarter. Like, no one's just running around being stupid except for me, so.
All right, well, let's move on from this a little bit and let's go into the first round of nominations, which was Nimi and Arceus. I think I'm saying that right, so.
Yeah. No one really knows.
On the non-set.
I mean, it was kind of boring. To be honest, the set of Johnny and Connor that Neem started was probably better. That would have been fun.
Yeah, I would say, as like a viewer, when I heard that nom set had come up of Johnny and Connor, I was personally excited to see if it would get pushed through. So to see Nimi and Arceus go up, it was kind of like a letdown, I guess, in a way. But it was also kind of interesting because I personally didn't expect for them to go up first.
I would have done Johnny and Connor.
Did you?
If that set, no, I did Neem and Kenny. But if that set stuck, I would have done it.
Mm-hmm. All right, and what were your thoughts of the 2 when they were left on the block? Like, how did you vote to evict?
I voted to evict Neem just because I was actually close with Arceus. Like, okay. I trusted him a lot.
Mm-hmm. With the whole Neem situation of him coming up with the Johnny and Connor set, did you know that he was the one who came up with it, or did you think it was Arceus?
I'm pretty sure the only person who thought it wasn't Neem was Johnny.
Okay, that brings me to another point I brought up, which is something I actually wrote down. Do you think it's possible that was like a conspiracy they cooked up? I know it kind of sounds weird, but if you think about it in a way, it could have been smart for their gameplay for Johnny to make it look like Neem had tricked him, because it kind of gives him a boost in public support. So do you think that was something that possibly happened?
It actually kind of makes sense when you say it like that, because all of a sudden everyone was saving Neem, even in the house, just because of that. And to be honest, Arceus was bad for no one's game in the house. Like, Neem could send a lot of people home, but Arceus I don't think could. So that was kind of stupid. But yeah.
Are you surprised that Arceus went home then at the end of the day?
I mean, I would have been surprised if it happened earlier, but because it like evolved throughout the day and everyone in the house was like, yeah, we're saving Neem. I was like, well, Arceus is gone.
Mm-hmm. All right, so moving on to the next round. There was Peter, Doodle, and yourself on the vlog.
Oh, no.
What were your thoughts on this round?
Oh, God. I don't even freaking know. I was a mess. I mean, Aphrodite and Emma creating an 8-person alliance and then me getting the blame for it. Ugh.
So at the end of the day, you were the one blamed even after they publicly admitted to it? Or...
Well, I'm pretty sure because after I had like a meltdown because after it got like revealed and then I found out it was being blamed on me, I was like, hold up. It was Afro and Emma and they were just letting me take the fall for it. So I kind of went crazy.
I will say, as a viewer, it was kind of funny to watch in your blogs because I like the 2 blogs that I mainly read of yours were 2 blogs where you were denying things that people were blaming you for. I feel like that became a big part of your game in the season, like maybe not in your gameplay, but just in what occurred with you, is I felt like people were throwing a lot of blame onto you for things.
Just about everything that happened, they were like, it was Tommy! And I was like, it wasn't fucking me! Like, even Kenny telling Jared that I was the one who nominated him and everything. Like, just little shit like that. Mm-hmm. And Jared gets quite mad very easy. And, yeah.
For this round, though, as a viewer, I mean, on Aphrodite and Emma's part, I think it was a really good nom set to put up Peter and Doodle because they are seen as bigger competitors. And so, like you said, you did think that when you were on the block next to them, you were guaranteed to leave.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, also, when I saw the nominations, I did not want you to go home, especially after reading the pleas. Like, I already knew, personally, that Doodle seemed like he would be safe because he was playing the game and he did have entertaining blogs. But I think when it came down to you and Peter, you were the one who was actually trying to make moves. And you may not have succeeded, but you were actually trying, where I feel like Peter kind of just, like, went with what was happening. And it, personally, I would say I voted for Peter, and I would have preferred you to stay. But, I mean, based on public perception, I guess it kind of makes sense, given past, with the fact that Peter did so well in his last season.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't going to stay, but, I mean, there was no harm in trying to stay. I mean, yeah. At least I was trying to do stuff, like, it was just kind of hard, because everyone was just set on just going with what everyone else was doing.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that will be something that continues on throughout the season, or do you think people will kind of break apart as things go on?
Well, I mean, Shoaib has said that he's planning a move or making a move, but I don't know. Nothing's happened of it yet, so maybe he's just saying that to get public support, but I don't know.
Well, on to our next question. Sadly, that is your eviction.
No, don't talk about it. No.
Are you surprised that 10 people voted to evict you and that no one voted to evict Doodle?
I knew no one was going to evict Doodle because I was told by most people that they were stacking votes on Peter, but obviously only a few did. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't think Johnny or Connor or anyone like that voted to save me.
So do you think there's any groups of people in the house that are completely voting together, that they're really sticking together and they're kind of pushing votes, like a specific group of people, or do you think it's kind of individuals that come up with these sets that push them?
Well, the reason that Peter and Doodle were being targeted, from what I was told, was because they were Johnny and Connor's sheep.
Okay. So you think people
so from what I heard
against Johnny and Connor?
Yeah, 100%. Because from what I heard, it was Johnny and Connor at the top, and then Peter and Doodle, and then everyone else just following the majority below them.
Okay, but if Johnny and Connor are the targets at the end of the day, Why do you think no one tried putting them up the first round when Neem suggested them as an option?
I think everyone's too scared.
So we have some chickens in the All-Star house.
Oh, 100%.
All right,
Everyone just wants to make it further just so they can say, oh, I got a high place in All-Stars. But when they get evicted, they'll look back and be like, well, what did I actually do? Oh, wait, nothing.
speaking of making moves, what were your thoughts when Jamarcus and Nippleberry came into the house? What were your thoughts on them coming in?
Well, I knew I was going, so I didn't really give a crap. The only thing I cared about was that I got 17th instead of 15th. But, although their nominations were kind of
You didn't approve of them.
Well, I mean, it's just Neem again. That was kind of boring. Nominating Queen Beth. I mean, if she gets 16th again after all that work trying not to get 16th. I don't understand the McKenna nomination. That was a bit weird.
Mm-hmm. Is there one of
And
the winners nominees like that you are more in support of? Do you think Nippleberry did better or Jamarcus made a better decision?
I think Nippleberry did better because I don't think anyone was expecting Devon to go up.
Mm-hmm.
And if Neem goes home, that's someone, again, who's actually trying to play the game who goes home, which is, yeah.
Do you have a response to ask for how you voted this round? Of the 4 nominees, who did you evict?
I evicted Peter. Oh, wait, no, this one. Wrong one. Hang on. I'll probably be evicting... I don't even know. Jesus. I haven't read the pleas yet, so...
Having read the pleas, I still am kind of indecisive. I think that McKenna's someone that personally I wouldn't want to get rid of based on her plea, and given what happened in the first round and then just moving forward, Neem seems like an interesting character. So to me, it was more down to Queen Beth and Devin. But based on what they were saying, I feel like Queen Beth kind of sounds like she's gonna, well, he's gonna try to do some more interesting things to actually sway votes. And I feel like Devin seems a little less interesting. But given their past, I feel like Devin has more of a shot to stay.
I think Devon's waiting for a chance to do something.
Do you think that he wants to make moves?
Oh, yeah. I wasn't like speaking with him like constantly every day because like time zones are so different. But from when I did speak to him, he's very calculated. Like he knows exactly where everyone sits, I think.
Okay. Do you have an idea of who you think will go home this round?
I think Neem will just because he's up twice.
So you think Neem will go home before Queen Beth?
Well, yeah, Queen Beth's iconic. You can't send Queen Beth home. If I see Queen Beth is evicted, I will hunt every single person down who voted her out.
Well, going back to the winner votes, I would say from my personal opinion, I feel like with what you said, I approved more of what Nipple did for her nominations. I think Devin was an interesting selection, and then Neem being someone who was kind of controversial and having made that move against Arceus or Arceus, I still don't know how to say it.
Arceus, I think it is.
Okay, an interesting decision. But with Jamarcus, I feel like Queen Beth is kind of a vote that you would predict just because it's an easier elimination, or so it seems. But I guess it does, like with what you said, make sense where McKenna's kind of an oddball one to throw in there. But I mean, if you also look at it in past seasons based on their placements, McKenna and Queen Beth definitely seems like a weaker nomination set than Neem and Devin.
I just think he didn't want to rock the boat too much, but at the same time, he's got immunity from tomorrow's nominations, so why not?
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Just go in and just make a splash, like.
Yeah, and my other thing that I wrote down in my notebook was, if you're gonna come into the game and you have this ability to make moves, definitely do it, because I think what he's trying to do right now is put up easier targets and then try and get in close with the people who are in power. But if you think about it, if it comes down to later in the game and the people that are in power decide to flip against him, is he going to have anyone to grasp for votes? Because it doesn't really seem like that'd be a possibility.
Well, from what I've seen, most of the people disapproved of his things, like of his nominations. Like even in the House, everyone was just like, why didn't you try to make a move? Like, I don't think anyone would have held it against him, if that makes sense.
So you think that he's in a very tough position moving forward?
Yeah.
You think he's in a
I mean,
tough
I
role?
wouldn't be surprised if once the immunity runs out, they're both the nominations. Like, just because it seems like an easy vote.
Do you think one of them has a better chance compared to the other?
I think Nipple does because I think more people respect what he did.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's all that I have for the nominations thus far. We will have to see what happens with the vote next round. But is there anyone, just to kind of finish this off, who are you really supporting, and who are you more like rooting to leave the game?
Well, I'm supporting Pocket and Connor just because I think Connor's playing the best game.
Okay.
And Pocket, he's one of the nicest people I've ever met. Like, honestly, he's so cool. And who do I want to leave? That's a hard one. I mean, who do I think's playing the messiest would have to be probably, from the blogs I've seen this round, probably Afro. Sorry, Afro. Sorry.
So you don't have anything against anyone that's, I guess, in power. You don't have anything against anyone
Oh
on the
no,
game
no,
level.
no! It's a game. Like, you can't take anything personally.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're just. I mean, you're going to be very butthurt every single game you play. Like, there's 18 people in here, only one can win. Like,
True. And that's a good attitude to have. Definitely.
yeah.
What placement do you wish you would have gotten? Like, is there a minimum placement that you wish you would have made it to?
Oh, I don't know. I wanted to equal or better my last season, which was 7th, but at the same time, like, I got called an all-star, so I don't really care.
That is very true. All right. I don't really have any more questions prepared. So, is there anything that you would like to say to finish this off? Any advice
Oh, I
for
don't.
people left?
Try and do something. Like, don't be a sheep. That word's overused, but like, I think they get what I mean. Don't just follow what everyone else wants to do, because you'll regret it once you're rejected.
Very true. All right. Well, it looks like our 20 minutes is just about up. But thank you for joining me for this conversation.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And I will talk to you later. Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.